I am a teacher here at Community Day School. My name is Jackie Goldblum. I teach 7th and 8th grade Facing History, Facing Ourselves. I really wanted a curriculum here in our school that would be a safe way to learn about the Holocaust, a way that would provide or foster empathy and understanding through choices, because that's what Facing History is. It's a whole scope and sequence that allows the students to start with identity, and we go on after that to study anti-Semitism, racism, bigotry, discrimination, stereotyping. They study race in America, they study eugenics, and that prepares them and gives them their base. They finally delve into the Holocaust. About 6 or 7 years ago, we looked for funding for educational outreach. So when we looked at higher achievement students, they seemed to be the perfect fit. I said to them, our histories have a lot of parallels in them. The mistakes that have happened in our own country parallels very much with the Jewish people.
The Facing History, Facing Ourselves curriculum is important to bring to higher achievement because it mirrors a lot of the things that we talk about with our scholars. They're separately learning about social justice from their own lens, and this curriculum being brought into our program then expands that lens, and so our scholars get to look at it from the eyes of the Jewish students from CDS, and vice versa. The CDS kids get to learn about social justice from the African American point of view.
Take a moment and think what you want from this lesson today. Let's take a moment quietly to think about our intentions.
Jackie Goldblum is amazing. She connects to our scholars. They're open to learning from her, and she presents the curriculum with a lot of passion and enthusiasm.
Remember what I said, inside, we're all the same. And it's going to be your generation, I'm hoping, that is going to work on this and even make it better. That's a good thing.
Your life has an ultimate significance. Believe in your heart that you are beautiful no matter what social constructs define as beautiful.
Challenges to the program have been basic logistical issues. Jackie's only one person, and we run 3 centers.
It used to be a little bit more difficult when I had to go to the centers and drive around and bring all my Mary Poppins bag with me.
Just this year, we decided that we would add more scholars by having them all come to Community Day School.
Being in this classroom, they see that this is a classroom that is intended for them to learn in, and it is welcoming for them. There's so many lessons in the Holocaust. It's the perfect model to look at because of the pyramid of hate that led to that genocide.
Sometimes we get labeled even, okay? And those labels are bad. Labels that we know people see us as, and they make us feel a certain way.
I try to guide the students to examine the resources that I give them. Maybe I might start a conversation, but they discover and decide for themselves. They reflect on it. They go write what they think about it.
I was just thinking about them and like my family, but then once I start thinking about it, more people come to mind.
That's right. Maybe they're looking at something a little different that they didn't even bother to care about before.
Now that we've looked at the universe of obligation, we're gonna look at the rise of Hitler's rise to power. It's really important to listen in on some of the things that are happening.
Arrest people, arrest enemies.
Higher Achievement is big on providing opportunities for our scholars. So the Bridge to DC program, as a culmination to this Facing History, Facing Ourselves program, is a big deal. The students get an opportunity to mix and mingle with each other a few times before they actually go to DC. And so when we have these meet and greet times here at CDS, that's where I really see the aha moments, like, oh, these kids are cool, or, you know, they're like us.
We don't normally talk with each other. I think they realize that even though they're from a completely different community, at first it's a little scary for both sides. When we come together in Washington, they have papers that guide them. I prepare worksheet type of scavenger papers for them to look up and find some answers, things that I really want them to notice. We went through the Holocaust Museum, and that was very intense. After it, we went outside and we had a bit of mindfulness and reflection.
What kind of feelings popped up in your head as you went through it?
Sad, distraught, bothered.
Anger.
Anger?
When we heard about the Holocaust, it's like, okay, then you see all of the videos and like even the shoes, it was really like moving.
Why did they do that? They burnt those people.
Then the next day when we went to the African American History Museum, quite intense as well.
What is important to notice about African culture?
They were like kings and queens. I know
They
that.
were kings and queens, yeah, and they had a very rich culture. And that's what I think we forget about, that there was a before for Africans. What's important to notice?
The numbers of like the ships and the slaves.
Learning about like where the cotton and stuff and like how they got like beat if they didn't pick enough cotton.
Seeing the slavery and the segregation.
I think it was seeing Emmett Till's casket.
Even though the museums are heavy, the students are there for each other.
When you create an environment where people can learn from each other that come from different communities, you start to tear down those walls. Hate starts to go away, the fear starts to go away, the ignorance starts to go away.
I pledge to be an active American.
I pledge to be an active American.
Show up for others.
To show up for others.
To govern myself.
To govern
myself. To help govern my community.
To help govern my community.
Higher Achievement students and Community Day students, if they are able to learn from the choices of leaders in the past and reflect on it and examine it, I think that they will be better citizens in the future.
I claim America.
I claim America.
And I pledge to live like a citizen.
And I pledge to live like a citizen.
High five. High five.